All right, this is Stratus0202 doing my live stream and YouTube for STO PvP 101 information, especially for beginners that don't know the game as well. This is now episode 2. In this episode, you're going to get a little fighting, you're going to get a little bit of action. And as I said, I was going to have guests and other PvPers in these actions with me, and I have my first special guest today, and that is Liquid Mark. How are you doing today, Liquid Mark?
I'm doing fine. Yeah, like how are you doing?
I'm doing good, man, and I want to first thank you for jumping on this. That way, everybody in the Twitch and YouTube world can see what we're doing here and see what PvP is about. Because, as you and I have discussed many times, Mark, there's just not enough info out there, and people get intimidated and they don't want to play it because they don't understand the difference between PvP play and PvE play and otherwise. What is your thought on the difference between PvP and PvE when it comes to how you're looking to assemble your ship?
Well, I mean, most of my builds on my ships are good for either, PvP or PvE. But like generally, like if you're setting up for PvE play, right, you generally want to focus on building to take out like multiple targets all at once and stuff like that. And a lot of abilities that work great in PvE don't necessarily work that great in PvP. And some abilities that that work great in PvP probably aren't best suited for PvE, that sort of thing. If you're doing PvP, your focus will probably be more on single targets and everything. Also, you'll need to actually, I guess, kind of tank yourself up a bit, to take more
Right.
damage, because you have another thinking opponent that will actually focus on you and deal some devastating damage and
And
stuff
that's
like
as
that.
well as people that have the same goal as you have. They're looking to make their ship max protected. They're looking to put out max DPS to try to take an opponent out. And I think the biggest factor, which you mentioned, which is something that I learned when I first started getting into this, is the difference in using abilities. Like when I was strictly PVE before I got into the PvP aspect, one of the things that I used a lot of that I didn't use a lot of was debuffs and things like that. I wasn't never worried about that. I would just get my weapons up to power and shoot them, as to where in a PvP environment, debuffing somebody, knocking their resistances down is a key to the fight,
Yeah.
wouldn't you think?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like definitely, like if you could like res drop somebody or ignore some of their damage resistance or something like that, that could make a big difference. One thing that I see a lot of people use, or like a thing, a lot of people will try to incorporate like shield penetration and stuff in their build and everything, and
Right.
that's
Shield
that
pen is big.
yeah, that's pretty big. You look at your shield, it's like almost full, and you're taking damage. So
Right, right,
yeah,
right. And we both experienced that in Ker'rat and whatnot.
yes,
I've been blown up before with my shield's completely up and been like, what the hell? What's going on here? How did I blow up just now?
yeah,
You know, and that's definitely key. Well, Mark and I, we've come into the arena. We're each in a D7, but different types of D7s, as you guys can see on my screen. I'm in the D7 Destroyer, which is it's the Kelvin Timeline D7. It's a pretty good ship, and you can get it out of the Infinity Lockbox. Mark's ride is a little more flashy than mine. It's a little smaller, but it's kind of like a Corvette. It's got better wheels on it. It runs a little better. He got himself the D7 Promo Miracle Worker Flight Deck Carrier, which is probably one of the top of the line ships on the KDF side, if not the top of the line ship that's a non-escort.
right,
What me and Mark are going to do now is we're going to engage a little bit, and we're going to engage passively to show you guys the difference of weapons when you're buffing up, when you're not buffing up. I am running a plasma beam build on this ship with 3 dual beam banks, 2 solo banks, and 2 omnis on the rear. 4 colony consoles, as you guys looking at my screen can see. The colony consoles are a key to PvP because not only do they give you bonus damage, But if you read that section under there, restorative protomatter matrix, 25%, it makes a huge difference in healing, a must-have in PvP. Would you agree, Mark?
Yes, those colony consoles are that's the colony console, right?
The
The
colony
colony
consoles,
consoles.
right.
Yeah, the colony consoles. Yeah, they kind of heal you and stuff when you activate weapon fire modes, I believe. Yeah, yeah,
Right.
they're very good consoles. Like I used them on a few of my ships, definitely.
Right, and I have other plasma bonuses. I'm running the episode2 piece set, which is a very popular set, and a couple other assorted consoles, hostile acquisition, weapon sensor enhancer, the famous dynamic power redistributor module, DPRM, otherwise known as, which is a staple PvP console, and another staple console is hull image refractors. Now, the key to this that you don't realize until you look at it and you get into it is not only does it give you plus 20% all damage, but incoming heals exceeding max hull stacks temporary hit points. Going to be is a big deal. Getting all those temp hit points, you have to make sure that your build doesn't have anything in there that's going to kill those hit points or cap them on you. And then another staple that I'm running is the Lorca's custom fire controls. While giving you a higher weapon power setting and a high critical chance of almost 4%. A big key on this, Mark, is 157.5 points to Starship Shield penetration. Must
Yes.
have in the PvP world, if you ask me, right?
Yeah, yeah, in combination with other things, but it's also important to note that those the points that it gives, they basically go towards your shield penetration skill in your skill tree and stuff like that, right? So um, I forget exactly how much shield penetration that adds up to. I think it's like something like 7% or something like that. I could be
Right.
wrong.
Which is still
Yeah, so
it's still the highest boost out there
yeah.
as far as any console or ability to give you a shield penetration boost, obviously, other than if you're using a transcranial sensor. But as you know, that expires pretty quickly after you
Yeah,
kill an opponent. In Ker'rat, you can't always, bank on killing an opponent to get that going.
yeah, definitely.
Sometimes it's don't go that way.
Yeah, definitely in combination with other shield pen traits or whatever. That's a very invaluable, boost there. Definitely.
Right. Now, Mark, if you don't mind me asking you, what kind of weapon setup are you running? What energy weapons are you running?
I'm running disruptors. I'm running the disruptor wide angle dual heavy beam bank. I'm running the experimental Romulan disruptor because that weapon doesn't cost it doesn't cost anything
Correct.
to use, like in terms of weapon power. I'm running 4 advanced disruptor beam arrays. And I am running the 2-piece from the House of Martok right now. But of
That's a
course,
good
there's like
set.
other stuff people can run. It's
Yeah, I
it's
use that
decent.
set sometimes too. I flip back
Yeah.
and forth between it.
Mm.
Sometimes I'll throw on the Martok console. But as usual, my dilemma is what do I replace? And that's one of
Right.
the biggest dilemmas when you have consoles that you get comfortable with. So I opted to go with a kinetic cutting beam as a second Omni. A
Right.
lot of people bang on it, but I got to tell you, Mark, I've kind of liked it. I've seen its effectiveness, and I've also seen that when you're fighting against opponents that are running either an Exodus build or they're cloaking, the beam stays on them, giving you literally a visual to where the other ship is, which is
Right.
a nice little thing to have if you ask me. So
Okay.
I'm now hovering above the rocks in the middle, Mark.
All
I
right.
guess what we could do first is I want to run a small hit at you completely unbuffed.
Okay.
I'm going to run a straight weapons and back away from you, and then we're going to take a look at the stats, and then I'm going to do it a second time buffed up, and then we're going to do the same thing on your end. You're going to hit me one unbuffed, back away, wait till your stuff comes together, then buff up and come and hit me while I'm sitting still, buffed up. And the reason I want to do it sitting still is I want to show people also the value of defense. If you're sitting still, much like in real life, you're a sitting duck.
Right.
All right, I
Okay.
see you coming up on the screen now.
All
There
right.
you are. Don't get too close so your
Um,
pets don't come flying at me yet,
yeah.
because I know
My,
you
my
have your
pets will
million little
definitely
pets.
attack you.
Oh yeah, annoying little SOBs. I have them on the Fed side. All right, I'm gonna turn and I'm gonna hit you with
Okay, they're already
nothing
coming
buffed
your
up
way.
whatsoever. That's all right. Let them come. I'm just gonna hit you with regular phase. Let me turn
Want me
on
to
you
sit still?
and sit still. All right, I'm gonna back off now while your little pets attack me. Those little bastards. All right,
Yeah.
and I want you to take a look at the numbers quick. Completely unbuffed, nothing activated. What kind of damage did I do to you?
Well, I mean, just that by itself didn't really do much to me. Like you need to really like lay into me for a few seconds.
Well, that's why I did it that way. I want people to
Yeah.
see the difference between a naked hit,
All right.
just like a quick little nothing without hitting, uh, without activating my scatter volley, without activating beam overload, without activating DPRM.
Right.
And the next time I'm going to come in, I'm going to activate all that stuff,
Okie
and
dokie.
that way we could see the difference in hits. You know. So give me a couple of seconds here to let DPRM auto procced on me because I was dumb and I didn't turn it off. So give me a second for it to come back. It should be back in about a minute. And then we'll go back the other way. But I would say the damage was probably low hits, right? Like 2,000, 1,000, couple hundred per,
Well,
per beam, right?
it's kind of hard to tell in the damage feed because like when my hanger pets attacked you, it shows all the damage from them trying to counterattack you or what have you. Let me set up my chat window. Maybe I can turn that off so I can only see what you're doing. Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
I see your little fighters are having fun beating up my one little swarmer that's hanging out by you right
Yeah.
now. Let me know when you're ready, and this time
All
I'm going
right.
to buff
So
up
I
some
turned
before I
off
come in.
combat for self so I could actually see what you're doing.
Okay. Okay, sounds good. 21 seconds left on my DPRM. And now I'm
Uh-huh.
going to come in with that active, beam overload, and obviously scatter volley to enhance my hits. I'm at 20 kilometers away from you now. And another 7 seconds till DPRM is ready to go. And obviously I'm not getting the benefit of doing cloaked. We're not doing any of this cloaked in the arena because cloaked gets stuck. And STO hasn't fixed that yet.
Yeah,
So
there are ways
to get out of it,
to
right.
get out of it. Yeah, yeah.
All
But it
right,
is
so I'm coming in
annoying.
now.
Like,
I'm at 16 kilometers. 13 kilometers. I'm activating scatter volley, beam overload. DPRM is now active. And now we'll see what the hits do. Drastic difference, probably, right?
yeah, you actually got my health to come down a bit there. Yeah.
Right. And this is what I want to talk about on the feed for people to watch when it goes on the YouTube channel. Timing your abilities is important. Hitting scatter volley before beam overload, and then DPRM, and then emergency power to weapons. You want to get it so it's all proccing at once to get maximum damage. Now, I'm going to sit here, still where I am. Mark, I want you to get ready to buff up.
Okay.
I want you to come in and hit me.
All right. Sure.
And all I'm going to activate, well, my DPRM is down, so you're not going to get that. I'm going to activate my emergency power shields, which will give me my shield overload. And I want to see how
Unfortunately,
that
like
performs
my
against you.
DPRM is in cooldown and all that, like because all that stuff
All right,
turns
so give
on
it
when I'm attacked.
give it its time. Give it a minute or two. My little swarmer's coming to say hello to you again.
Uh-huh.
You're going to come fight with your little pets. Ain't that funny?
Yeah. But I usually win through attrition on this ship anyway. It's not like a vapor or anything like that,
Well,
so
we're going to test that all in a minute. I just want to see what one of your hits does. That way, again, different type of build. You're running disruptors. I'm running plasma. This is instructional. I just
right.
want people to see that there's different options of what they can do. And obviously your fighters are a factor. All your hangar pets. Two bays on that ship, right?
Yes. Yeah, there are 2 bays on the ship.
I'm jealous, Mark. Liquid Mark has me jealous. Yes,
Yeah.
I only have the D7 Destroyer.
I mean, D7 Destroyer is a good platform. All right. I mean, I could come in if you want. Like my handicap's already
Whenever you're
decided to
ready.
attack you anyway.
Yeah, they
Okay.
like it. They're already putting trackers on me. And they come do their stuff.
Alright.
Alright, I got a couple things put in there now. Going to
Yeah.
power to the shields.
Yeah, you already
There you go.
like reverse shield polarity. You know, one thing to note is that if someone has reverse shield polarity up, that's not the opportune moment to attack them. Like, you know.
Correct.
That's
Alright.
not doing anything to you.
Starting to take me down now. Alright, I'm gonna blow me up.
No, I'm not. I'm all the way over here.
I don't even know where you're at. Okay, you're touching me. That's right.
Yeah.
Alright, so as you can see when you activate things, right, what I did to defend against Mark's attack there was, like he said, I activated reverse shield polarity, and that helped take a lot of stuff down. And then I went to emergency power to the shields while running shield overload. Gives you plus 75 to, I believe it is to, I'll go look right now, plus 75 to all damage resistance rating for 30 seconds and plus 75% shield resistance for 30 seconds. So that's a big time thing. So now me and Mark, we're going to joust a little bit. Mark, feel free to start fighting like you're fighting.
Okay.
And let's see how the two ships perform against each other. Ready to see the action. I don't know if Mark's going to build me up. This isn't my top tune, so he may. I'm going to buff up and give him help. Now, I'm running an engineer on this team. Mark, what are you running on that team?
I'm running an engineer.
Oh, so it's battle of the engineers. Who's going to drain more power from who? Oh, and I'm also going to use together doing this if you're failing hard. That's pretty nice. Always doing that. And as you can see, I'm using some different things here, a little defense. Mark's pets are really a pain in the you-know-what.
So you like placated this. Oh, there you go. Hello.
There I am. Hello. How are you? Of course, this is going to be important to get by 1,000 pets. War of attrition, where the engineer is usually the strategy. Me and Mark both playing kind of on the same field here. You see Mark has that new console equipped with the, what is that called again, Mark? The support
It's
tower?
I forget the exact name. I can look it up for you. I have a target right now. But let me untarget you. The name of the console is High Energy Communications Network. It comes on the support carriers. Where are you at?
I was using that on my Fed ship. That was something I was using.
Okay. He dropped the sensor interference platform. My angle that's already took it out. Yeah. Yeah, of course drop that. Yeah, like if you see somebody drop the sensor interference platform, it's probably essential to take care of that as quickly as possible. You know.
Oh yeah. Jostle here. Both jumping up and down and down. It looks like you could probably do this for a while.
Yeah.
One thing I think is I noticed that this ship seems a little less nimble than mine.
Yeah.
Trying to touch this up for that by grabbing this.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the busy fight when you get all the hang of it.
Mm-hmm.
but you have to take a couple of them out every now and then.
Yeah.
Just to make my life a little easier.
Yeah, I've been meaning to get like off carrier solutions or something for this build. Currently, I'm using scramble fighters, which is an okay train.
I have that trade also. I have that on the Fed side. It's okay, but I haven't really on the Fed side. As you know, I've gotten away from that, more to the Intel build now. I'm not good enough. Be careful. Ooh, you survived that rabbit hit I put on you.
Oh yeah.
If the ship does hit, and this is not my, actually not my top build. My top build is my friend who's built the really better is. I guess he has a few more things at his disposal. So many tractor beams, Mark.
Actually, I'm using a mixture of handcuffs on this build. I have the like the Orion interceptors and the fighter, the squadrons, the new Todo squadrons that came out.
Obviously, I'm a pet ship. I'm more a pilot ship. Got me. Boom. Good job.
Yeah. Yeah, you're pretty tough to take down. You know, like I see you in Ker'rat sometimes. You'll be up there with like 3 guys, you know, and stuff. And you're like holding the line and all that. So, you know.
Yeah, well, you know, what we could both talk about this is since we both have engineers, which what I normally has it as an advantage up there against tax. Engineers, you literally have to kill us 3 times, you know.
Right.
I think I got you quote unquote down once or twice that fight, and you were able to get back up, and you got me down twice, and the 3rd time you got me down was the time that you got to kill me. So,
Yeah.
like you said, war of attrition when it comes to these ships. So,
Yeah.
I think now, one thing I'd like to do, Mark, if you're okay, I think that we should maybe visit Ker'rat and show people how you can operate as a team when you're communicating.
Right.
Again, when it comes to fighting in Ker'rat, it's not just about fighting alone. A lot of times, more often than not, you're fighting with multiple people, and if you're fighting with friends that you're actually chatting with, it makes a big difference. Now, before we do that, I want to go look at this report for a second, because you really upset me there, Liquid.
I did. Sorry about that.
Yes, you upset me there, but I expected it, because like I said, my KDF is not my best tune. He's good. He's getting there, but he's not my...
Well, I will say that the Disco D7, you know, the Miracle Worker Flight Deck Cruiser is a hell of a ship. You know, like I gave a mutual friend of ours, you know, the build that I have on this one, and you know, he's attacking. He came and he freaking destroyed me with my own build, right? Like, you know. So,
well, you can stop telling me about that any day now, Liquid. I really don't want to hear about him getting the D7, and I'll make a shout out to him. That's my friend Scotty. That would be
Earthborn Titan,
who is from the other pond. Earthborn Titan from the other side of the pond. Good guy.
Yeah.
Has the ship I want, so therefore I don't like him. All right, so we are now going to leave the arena. Let's leave this arena now. We'll stay on chat here. And we heard that there were people in Ker'rat earlier.